Hey, Paul Lusk here from Houston. Today we're going to be working with paper micarta, ivory colored. A lot of people call it ivory micarta. This is a really difficult thing to work with for a lot of people. Let me fix this tripod just a little bit. Not exactly happy with the way it is. There we go, that's a little bit better. Really difficult for a lot of people to work with because it burns easily and it shows every little imperfection in your craftsmanship. It really is tough. But I'm going to show you how to work with this and make it a whole lot easier for you, okay? I have been working on this on the grinder. I'm using a 60 grit Cubitron belt. Got the basic shape down. It's not exactly perfect, but the basic shape is here, okay? So now what we're going to do is turn this over here to the grinder. I'm going to put on a 220 belt. And we are live, so if anyone wants to hop in and ask any questions, I will, okay? I'll answer those. All right, so now we've got a 220 on here. A lot of people think that you have to have a brand new belt to work with ivory micarta. Excuse me, and actually that isn't the case. I've talked to a lot of people and they've said, oh, I never work with that stuff because you have to use brand new belts and you go through so much money in brand new belts because it burns it. Well, there's a way around that, okay? Those brand new belts end up keeping it from burning because they're fresh and it removes the material quickly. And if they're dull belts, then it's not going to remove the material, and heat is going to build up and it's going to leave burn spots, okay? But another way to avoid that is to use a lubricant, okay? And this is TFL 50 wet lubricant. And I like to spray that on there if the belts aren't perfectly fresh, okay? And you can use it on a fresh belt too. But I'm going to go ahead and just start knocking off some of these harsh edges around here, okay? Didn't want to bore you with shaping the whole thing. I'm just going to knock off some of these harsh edges with that 220. I know that a 220 is good on this paper. A lot of times I'll use like a 300, 320 around through there on other materials, or even a 400. But a 220 on paper for me works really well. Let's go ahead and do that. This is a TW90 grinder, great grinder. J-Flex belts, if you care. I'm running it on about 60% speed. I'm going to turn on my air ventilation here. I'm getting those 60 grit scratches out of those Corby bolts, okay? Just getting all those deep scratches out, okay? At least trying to. Okay, had a little technical glitch there. Getting all these scratches out, all right? I'm gonna start softening these edges around through here. Just rounding that a little bit. Do it on this side now. Now I did one little thing down here. Might have seen me do that on the tang. Had some really deep scratches going through there from that 60 grit before. And what I did is I put some scratches going across, going this way with that 220, and then I did them going this way. Okay, so I removed those 60s by doing that, and then I went like that. Okay, instead of just covering them up by doing this, I removed them first, and then I finished it off with a 220 grit finish run this direction. This is eventually going to be mirror polished. Okay, so I need to get some of those deep scratches out like that. I'm going to put on this smaller wheel attachment and have a little bit of shaping to do underneath to touch. 1-inch wheel right here. I'm going to turn this down. We don't want to run that fast. Those little bearings in there can't handle it, okay? There we go. Now what I need to do, grab, it fell, there it is. The belt I needed is falling down. Okay. We've got a 220, 1-inch wide scallop J-flex, okay? Y'all can check out the better version of this at knifemakingvideos.com. I'll show you a whole lot more up close with better camera angles and more instruction, okay? Now if you start getting burns, I'm not getting any yet, but I'm getting close. Just spray that down, okay? It's gonna help keep it cool. Not gonna have as many issues that way, okay? I'm just rounding this area right in here, okay? Just smoothing that up. I didn't use the wide belt, the regular J-flex belt, because it'll leave gouges. Okay. Now here's an example of a gouge right here. See that right there? I gouged it from that 220. Let's take that out. There we go. That removes that gouge. Okay. So those scallop belts are really, really good to have around. Getting up in there and just kind of softening all these edges, all these little areas that are a little rough. You need major 60 grit. Grind lines need to come out too. Okay. I'm going in a couple different directions getting those things out because it'll make it easier later on whenever I mirror polish it, okay? So get all those deep scratches out of there. Just a little effort right in through here will save us a bunch later on. Be sure to get this area right here, okay? A lot of people forget that. See knives with grind lines and even discoloration from heat treat right there. You just forget about that area, okay? All right, we're getting it shaped. the way we want it to be. Okay. If you have any issues, with some areas, you might just want to put your fingers behind there a little bit. That'll help out quite a bit. Okay, now. Take it up a notch. Put our, let's see, I might use this used 400. I don't think that 400's got enough punch in it. I think this 320 might. Okay, we're using used stuff here, so considering that's used, we got to spray it. Okay. Now, whenever you're shaping the first stages, it's going to gum up your belts. Okay. That white micarta, that ivory micarta, aka white paper micarta, can really gum it up. Okay. Okay. We have a few little issues in here. Okay, there's a little mark right in there. It'll be hard to see, but of course under here it's still kind of gross. But if there's a mark that you can't get out just by doing this, use the big wheel and put it up against there. Get that mark out, okay? But be careful. You can gouge your handle doing that, okay? Now, I don't recommend running this like I'm doing for a long time. It's not good on those bearings. But just for example's sake, I'm doing it this way. Okay, now that I have this established right in through here, if I'm doing it at the right angle, I can kind of feather that in with that harsh edge. It's kind of cupping a little bit, it's kind of rounding some. So I'm avoiding gouging it that way by holding it at an angle, like so. All right. You just have to make sure that you're getting all of these grind lines out, all these scratches out, okay? They'll show up. I can see little black lines and just nicks on it, okay? Just little nicks here and there that I can tell places where I haven't really hit it. Okay. Now, we're getting close. We're getting close. I can use a used 400. Kind of like that one right there. Kind of like that one. If you don't have variable speed, you can still do this, okay? there's still this little black mark right there. Okay, I might have to put the wheel back on. It's still there. The thing is, I might have gotten it. If you try to do it on a small wheel, it'll scoop it out. Okay, you need a big surface. You don't want to come back here and do stuff back here on that small wheel. It's going to leave ripples, okay? I can do it underneath here because I have to. You know, with that. Can't do that with the big wheel. We have to do it back there. Okay, we're getting really close here. Now, go ahead. I'm going to do something here. Take this off. I'm going to get this one in here. Oops, took a couple with me. Okay. It's a really used 400 that I've used a lot of oil on. Okay. A lot of that TFL. It's not oil, but you know what I mean. Don't push too hard on that. Those things will split really easily. All right. Rip that thing in half. Using that to get in there and soften up everything. And the final cleanup under here, okay? Any hard to reach areas, okay? That 1 inch wide scallop belt is really, really good. I've shown this to some people and they've said, man, I used to have to hand sand and do all this stuff like on the sub hilt and stuff like that, and like, man, that saves hours of handwork. It's like, yeah, it sure does. It's little tricks like this, and it can really, really improve things. Okay. All right. Not too bad. Just trying to get some major stuff out. I'll clean this up in a second on the big wheel. There's one little area. I know I said don't do like the whole thing, but I'm going to clean it up on the big wheel later, but I'm just concentrating on that little area real quick. Okay. Now, I can get the same version of this, but the 2 inch wide regular J-Flex. Put that right there. Okay. These things get wet and they curl up on you. Okay. There you go. Really used with a bunch of TFL on there. Put some more. Okay, looking pretty good. Let me find a little rag or something. Here we go. Now at this stage right here, putting that oil on there, this is your last chance to see any scratches that might show up. been seeing scratches in other stages, but should be getting where we don't see any more. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, got a little corner back there that I missed. I'm going to take this over to the buffer just to save you some time instead of watching this whole thing get complete, okay? Instead of watching the whole thing, I'm just going to show you this right here. Let me move you, sorry. Had some stuff in the way. Okay. All right. Get the shot back out of the way real quick. There we go. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get this down here on the buffer. Using a sewn wheel right here. Okay. See that a little bit better. Now you have to make sure that you hold on really, really tight on that, okay? This is dangerous right here. That. Put that into the lanyard. Knock off that harsh edge on the inside of the lanyard. This is a tan. I got this from knifeandgun.com. It's the one that they use right before the pink no scratch. Okay? Knifeandgun.com. Okay, just gonna do one side for you. All right, now here we have it, okay? There you go. Got some fingerprints on it already. But anyway, I got mirror polished bolts on there. You see yourself in there. See that? All right. Don't have any scratches on this. It's not discolored. It's not burned. There aren't any grind lines or sanding marks or anything in that, okay? It came out just great. Just great. I'll do the other side. In here in a little while, I'll really get to buffing all this through here. Don't want to spend all day, use your entire day buffing this thing. But it just gives you an idea on how to do this. Just keep it cool. All right, you don't have to use those brand new belts like the rumor has it. You can use that TFL 50. You can use WD-40. I'm not a huge fan of WD-40, but you can. Anything that's just going to keep those belts cooler than how they are now. Okay, there's some belt lubricants you can put on there, some belt sticks and stuff that will work. But I just like that TFL spray. Anyway, if you can, if you haven't already, hit subscribe and then hit the little bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I come on live next time. And also check out knifemakingvideos.com. I teach about 16 or 18 classes on there that show you a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole just huge amount of information on there that takes you from how to design different types of knives all the way through the finished product. You got to do a fixed blade, just a regular fixed blade, a fixed blade with bolsters, a hidden tang buoy, a liner lock folder, And if you put in the coupon code LIVE, L-I-V-E, you'll get it for 15% off. And that's less than 17 bucks a month, okay? So you can get really up close, really good instruction, better camera angles, a whole lot more information that way, okay? So check out knifemakingvideos.com and put in the coupon code LIVE. And we'll see you next time. All right, have a good day.